Hello everyone, I'm Noemi Banchi and we are broadcasting from Valley Heights in New South Wales, Australia. Well, we are going to start talking today about Saint Germain's teaching. And well, this is an online course we are going to broadcast every week, every Monday at 7 p.m. Sydney time. So why Saint Germain's teaching? What is the reason? The first reason, I have to be honest with you, is because I wanted. I thought, okay, let's start talking about these things so people can study, can be aware of this teaching, and also Saint Germain says that knowing about the inner self, knowing about the power of the words I am, and knowing about the practice of I am presence is the most urgent thing on earth at the moment. So, but of course, it's something like I want to do it, and for some reason we start talking about that. So let's see. Saint Germain. Well, if you haven't heard about him, this is a photo of him, and yes, he has violet eyes. You cannot see very well because it's an old picture. Um, and to know about him, so Master Saint Germain is a being of the seventh violet ray, avatar of the current age of Aquarius, and king of the golden age. So he has a lot of titles. He is known by the title Liberation, Avatar Aquarius, the Hungarian, and Master R, due to his previous incarnation as Prince Rakoczy. And I'm going to show you because we went to Hungary at the beginning of this year, and we went to his when he was born in Hungary as Prince Rakoczy. And you can see, well, a representation of him as a prince, and his title, Count of Saint Germain, means the holy brother of the community. So if we have a look at, well, this is the picture. We went to Rakoczy Castle in Szarospatak in Hungary a few months ago. And well, we went with Ruben Cedeño, Fernando Candiotto, and well, a group of metaphysicians who went to know about this beautiful castle. And there are a lot of things about Rakoczy family, such as, well, clocks, photos, well, a lot of things in there. But the main thing is that he is a being, a person. He's not a ghost, or I don't know, like an imaginary person. Saint Germain exists like you and me and every person. So, and why? Well, that is one thing, Saint Germain. On the other hand, we have Guy Ballard. So Guy Ballard was an American, and you can see him here with his wife, Lotus Ballard. And well, you can see the flag, you can see their clothes, they are very elegant and well dressed up, and this is how they lived. So Guy Ballard wrote a book, many books. One of them is Unveiled Mysteries, And he explained in this book some experiences that he had with Saint Germain. So this activity that we are going to talk today is about this book. And well, I also should mention Connie Mendes, because Saint Germain met Guy Ballard. So I'm going to explain that story a little bit now in a while. So he explained his teaching. So Saint Germain explained his teaching to Guy Ballard. Guy Ballard wrote the book Unveiled Mysteries. But as you know, I am from, maybe you don't know, well, I'm from Argentina. This is my accent, so I always say hello and say, where's your accent from? And I say, I'm from Argentina. And so my first language is Spanish. So Connie Mendes, she spoke many languages, among of them English and Spanish. She was a Venezuelan. And you can see the picture here because she has a white dress. And she is not alone. She is with Katiuska Cordido. Katiuska Cordido was a wealthy lady who helped Connie Mendes work for her as a secretary. Connie Mendes also was a very, very wealthy person. They both were Venezuelans. And so Connie Mendes and Katiuska Cordido found this book, Unveiled Mysteries, and the Magic Presence that Guy Ballard wrote, and they translated this book into Spanish. And this is how I met this teaching. And thanks also to Rubén Cedeño and Fernando Candiotto. Rubén Cedeño is on the left-hand side, and Fernando Candiotto is on the right-hand side. So they continue with Connie's work, with this work to translate all this teaching into Spanish. So to understand, this is not like, oh, how this teaching come to me, or why we're talking about this. As you see, this is a long, long journey that started in 1930. Yep, when all this started, when Saint Germain met Guy Ballard, and then many years ago, Connie Mendes translated this teaching into Spanish, and then nowadays, Rubén Cedeño and Fernando Candiotto, they are working as well to keep all this teaching updated. Well, now, the New Age. You might have heard about the New Age. Rubén Cedeño says, the Ascended Masters define the New Age as, let me explain, the Ascended Masters are, like for example, Saint Germain. They are human beings who have many experiences, and they learn how to live. And this is what we call Ascended Master. In a nutshell, evolution is from stone to a mineral, to a vegetable or vegetal kingdom, and from there to animal kingdom, and then human kingdom, and then ascended masters. Is like the next level in evolution. So all of them, the ascended masters, define the new age as the current dispensation of Master Saint Germain's teachings, which has a new approach if it is compared with another inner instruction of the past. When I mentioned some of the titles of Saint Germain, I said that he's an avatar. What does it mean? Avatar means descends. So descent is when, for example, Master Jesus. Have you heard about that? Master Jesus was the avatar of Pisces age. We are in the age of Aquarius. The previous age was Pisces. For 2,000 years. Okay, so now we are in the new age. But this is not about challenging. Like, oh yes, the master told me to tell you. No, we don't do that. Saint Germain can speak, like you and me. And if he has something to tell you, he's not going to challenge. He's not going to do anything abnormal or supernatural or whatever. He goes with you and say, hey, you know what? This. It's like when we are going to see what happened with Guy Ballard and Saint Germain. The New Age is not about cards, reading cards, or anything of the past, Feng Shui or tarot, anything. This is new, completely new. You cannot compare this teaching with something from the past. And this is what we need right now as mankind. So, and the book, Meeting the Master. This is how Guy Ballard met Saint Germain, or Saint Germain met Guy Ballard. And yes, you see in the picture, this is in Mount Shasta. This is the west part of the US in California, Mount Shasta. And there is a small town near Mount Shasta called McLeod. So Gottfried Reiking is the name of Guy Ballard. Once he ascended, he got this name. And he says, long hikes on the trail had become my habit whenever I wanted to think things out alone or make decisions of serious import. And this is, I really wanted to share this because it's what do you do when you want to make a decision, when you want to, decide something important? Do you take a while? Well, this is what Gottfried Reiking, or what Guy Ballard used to do. He used to walk alone to think first. And he says, Guy Ballard says, I had planned such a hike for pleasure, as I thought, to spend some time deep in the heart of the mountain, when the following experience entered my life to change it. So, and I want to share with you my experience when I started, or my first contact with Saint Germain's teaching. And actually, I saw him on the photo. like you saw today. I don't know if this is your first time, but my first time with Saint Germain was like this. I was at uni and I was working. No, I was studying in this house like you share with other students. The thing is, I went to live with one of my friends, and we came back to visit my other friends in that place. Uh, like Guy Ballard, for pleasure. I said, let's go, let's visit some friends. The the thing was maybe Saturday night. I don't remember actually. I remember it was weekend, and my friends. I don't know if they weren't there or something like that, but I do remember I met this lady who talked to me about Saint Germain, and she had a picture, and she said, "Well, this is Saint Germain," and she started talking to me about Saint Germain stitching. So, well, for Guy Ballard was walking on a mountain in Manchester. So he says, the morning in question, I started out daybreak deciding to follow where fancy lead, and in a vague sort of way, ask God to direct my path. Do you ask for guidance? But not anybody. Your inner self. So we have this decree, so we can say, I am presence, direct my path. When you wake up in the morning to have a good day, direct I am presence, direct my path. Your I am presence is you, the perfect expression of you. So Guy Ballard continues. It came time for lunch. It came time for lunch, and I sought a mountain spring for clear, cold water. Cup in hand, I bent down to fill it, when an electrical current passed through my body from head to foot. I looked around, and directly behind me stood a young man who at first glance seemed to be someone on a hike like myself. I looked more closely and realized immediately that he was no ordinary person. As this thought passed through my mind, he smiled and addressed me, saying, my brother, if you will hand me your cup, I will give you a much more refreshing drink than spring water. I obeyed, and instantly the cup was filled with a creamy liquid. Handing it back to me, he said, drink it. For a moment, let's imagine that you are in Guy Ballard's shoes. What would you do? Would you drink? Let me give you some clues here. First, and I took literally for that reason. I said, okay, I'm going to keep the Guy Ballard's words. And you see the American way of writing, like for example, realized with Z instead of S, like we write here. Anyway, when he looked closely, he saw something special. That he had something special. And let me tell you that the first thing you see is the way that they dress. If for some reason you will meet some ascended master, the first thing is their clothes. They are immaculate. So that is what he recognized, that no, this person is not an ordinary person. He has something. So let's see what happened. Well, indeed, I did so. He drank, and must have looked my astonishment, while the taste was delicious. The electrical vivifying effect in my mind and body made me gasp with surprise. I did not see him put anything into the cup, and I wondered what was happening. That which you drank, he explained, comes directly from the universal supply, pure and vivifying as life itself. In fact, it is life, omnipresent life, for it exists everywhere about us. And this is the first huge teaching. And I want you to remember this from now on. Everything is already, no, sorry. Everything already exists. Money. You don't have to create money because the banks are covered in money. So money exists. You don't have to create money. Food, the same. Clothes, the same. Houses. Do you need a house? Plenty of houses. You can create. You don't have to create, although you can create a house, but materials. So everything is already there. So this is the first thing, is there. It's like the oxygen, like you can breathe when you inhale. There, imagine that is the universal supply, or think or realize that is there. There, everything is there. You just need to connect. So Saint Germain says, I have but to hold out my hand, and if I wish to use gold, gold is here. If I wish gold, gold is here, like you see the picture. For example, do you need a parking spot, when you go to the doctor or to whatever you go, to the shops. But you know what? No. Instead of saying, okay, what I wish is here, no. People think, oh no, well, you know what? It's very hard to find the park. Oh, at this time you never find the park. It's really hard. So people fight for a spot. Instead of thinking, if I need the park spot for my car, well, I wish it and I have it. Already is there. For me, for my car. With gold, and he says gold, but you can think of what you need. Is there in the universal supply. Why you don't think that you will lack of oxygen? Why? Oxygen is everywhere. Yes. In your mind, you will never get out of oxygen. So this is the first teaching. Precipitation. Precipitate what you need. But you cannot think the opposite, like, oh no, well, have doubt, like you're not going to get that, because all the doubt, the fear of not having what you need, losing your job, or losing your partner, or your son or your daughter, those fears, those doubts make you experience what you fear. Thoughts become things. And I love to give this example. Thoughts become things, says Guy Ballard. Okay, raise your hand. Okay, when I said to someone, say, okay, you raised your hand, well done. How did you do that? Well, move my hand. How? Move my bones, my muscles. How? By thinking. Thoughts become things. Don't expect that you will be happy before you think you're happy. It's not going to work. Thought first, then the expression, the thing. When I have money, I will be happy. When I have a partner, I will be full of joy. When I have this job, I will feel fulfilled. When. No. First, thought. First, think what you want. That is how this works. And this is the law of mentalism. Saint Germain says, the more intense the feeling within the desire, the more quickly it will be attained. Let's say, for example, that you need something straight away. You really need a job. Okay, the job is there. Because your feeling, your desire is like, okay, right now it's there. However, if one be foolish enough to desire something that will injure another of God's children or any other part of his creation, then that person will pay the penalty in discord and failure somewhere in his own life experience. This is the law of cause and effect. If you do something, you will receive it in the same quality as you have done, and bigger. So, for example, if you give a donation today, $10, you will receive hundreds. If you refuse to help someone that you might be able to help someone, so when you need help, you will not get that help. And it wasn't even in the worst time of like you really need that. It is very important to realize fully that God's intent for every one of his children is abundance of every good and perfect thing. Well, why? Why you don't see this around you? With your family members, with your friends. Why? You know why? Let me tell you. Because people don't think what they want. They think what they don't want. And that is what they are attracting, what their attention is, and then they don't have what they want, they need because of that. The feeling or the desire should be focused on what you want. Specifically. So, for example, let me give you some examples. Someone wants a partner. Met someone, Tinder, whatever, I don't know. I don't remember now the app or what it's called. And they said, nah, but everybody there, they only want to have fun. Nothing is serious there. You, with your thought, your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy, because you can create whatever you think. Thoughts become things. So that is focus on what you want. This is what Saint Germain is explaining. Mankind was originally created in the image and likeness of God. But for God's sake, what is or who is or whatever is God? Because you know what? Should be the other way around. Should be mankind create God as an image of themselves. Yeah. Why? Look at this. This is the image of God, or an image of God. And you know where it is? In San Svan, the Basilica, San Svan Basilica in Budapest, Hungary. It's very top there. The image of God. But what you see there is an old man with beard, white beard, a lot of hair, hands, feet, clothes on a cloud. Is that really God? This is an image of the artist who painted on the ceiling. That is not God. God is not an anthropomorphic being. Anthropomorphic. Anthro is about human, being, and morphic is the shape, the qualities of human. Oh, God will be angry if I don't do this, or I should be afraid of God because He's going to punish me if I don't do, or I do this or that. But God is not. God is but laws and virtues. That's all. Law. What you do to someone else, the life will return to you. What you think, you will manifest. That is. And that is what you should be not afraid, no, you shouldn't be afraid, but aware of, because what you think, you will manifest. God is the owner, giver, and doer of all the good. Instead of blaming someone else for whatever happened to you, most of the time we blame someone. But there are some situations in life that we cannot blame someone, because there is, so okay, let's blame God. God is not going to, refuse or disagree, because God doesn't speak. He's not a person. It's just your idea of God. Oh, God will punish. Oh, God will do that. No. And by the way, God means good. Think of that. God means good. Whatever good thing happened to you, that is related to God, yes. Because God is something good. Saint Germain says, what you think and feel, you bring into form. Where your thought is, there you are. For you are your consciousness. And what you meditate upon, you become. So, We talk about what we think and what we feel, but that is not all, because we produce by thought, by feelings, by words, blah 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 blah, and by actions. We are producers, creators. So all of that are creations. So we can create with our thought, we can create with our feelings, we can create with our words, and we can create with our actions. So we work with this causation quadrant. The causation quadrant is what explained Ruben Cedeño. And he says, okay, we have these four things: thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. Let's see an example. Do you want to pass an exam? Think, I already passed this exam. Feel that joy, like, yes, I passed. Even though it didn't happen yet, or it hasn't happened yet. The words, yes, I will pass. Or yes, I already passed. I will not, I already passed. Not in the future, right now. Think, oh yeah, I already passed the exam. I got this. Actions. What actions can you do with an exam? Study. If you miss any of these items, you will not get your outcome. What else? Thoughts is really, really important. Words as well. Let's say you want a house. Oh my God, I love this example. People think, oh, well, it's very expensive. Oh, the market now is inflation. Well, you know what? You are using your quadrant of causation or causation quadrant in the wrong way, because you are using the power you have in your words to go against your project. If you really want a house, think, I want a house. Think how many rooms. If you want with kitchen, if you want with garage, if you want, I don't know, with backyard, how many windows. Think of how you want the house and where. Don't think I want the house of John Smith. No, that is not going to work. Think of what you really want. Then the feeling. Do you really want that house? Are you sure? And the positive feeling is, yes, I love this house. I will love. And you imagine cleaning the house, sweeping, cleaning the windows, everything. Cooking in the kitchen. Anyway. Words. Use your words. In this case, when we want to create something, don't say it aloud. Don't say to everybody, I want a house. But use your words to yourself. Say, it's possible to buy a house. How many people on earth can buy a house? Millions. The market's still working. So don't be fool. Sorry, but don't be fool and think, oh no, it's too expensive. Because if you think that, then you are not going to have what you want. And when I heard someone saying that they want to buy a house and they say, oh, the market is too expensive at the moment. You know what I say? I say, well, there are many people who buy a house. And I say, yes. But what I really want to say is, don't you realize that with saying that you never get a house? But I say the other thing. So, well, there are so many people who can buy a house. And people who don't think like that, And the actions, well, the action is go and see the house, go to the real estate. You need to move. Those things. But start with simple. Start with something simple and then you will progress. Because if you never tried this before, you never thought that you can create with your thought, and you start thinking, I want an empire, well, do you really have the feeling that you can have an empire? Not really. So go step by step. Remember how you learned to read? You didn't start with a sentence even, or a book. You started with a letter, the letter A, then B, then C, then apple, then the apple is on the tree or in the tree, and then the book. Godfrey Reiking, or Guy Ballard, says, discordant feeling is the producer of conditions we call disintegration, old age, lack of memory, and every other failure. Excuse me, hello, no more surgeries, no more cream, because you are with the secret of beauty, health, what else? I wouldn't say immortality because death is part of the process. Death is not the end of the life, death is the end of the birth. But when you get at the end of the journey, then you don't have to be crap. Crap is like you cannot walk, you cannot see, you cannot hear. You can have a good quality of life. Being active, being able to be independent with your daily activities, is your discordant feeling that is causing all the issue. So why people get old is not about their age, it's about discordant feelings. Your hatred, your fears, doubts, anxiety, depression, all these things that makes you getting older. So we want to reject those things. We don't want discordant feelings. If you want to manifest beauty, if you want to manifest health, if you want to manifest good memory, what should you do? Let's see. Aha! Here it is. A decree. You have no power over me. And you can tell to someone, you can tell to yourself. Are you aware of how many things you are all through the day? I was thinking this morning. I was driving to work and I thought, what is my first word of the day? Because when you wake up, unless there is someone already awake, you start the conversation straight away. But most of the time you are talking to yourself until you met someone at work or maybe on the street when you go to buy a coffee or something. Well, I was thinking how many words we think before we start talking. So you can start this decree with yourself, with your mind, because this is all about to control your mind and feelings. And then you will be able to control your words and your actions. You have no power over me. Start saying that. To what? To what you don't want. You don't want to fail in the exam. So if you're afraid of that this is my last chance. If I fail here, I'm done. Okay, you have no power over me. You have your own business, and you're afraid because of this or that, what you hear in the news. I don't want to give power, because when you say the word with the letter I, Nflation, I think. When you say that word, then you give power to that. And then you see, oh, my business is not going to be sustainable because of this. Okay, breathe in. Remember what Guy Ballard did? Calm down, breathe, or go for a walk, and think, you have no power over me. Because you cough and someone says, oh, are you sick? No, you have no power. No, they don't even ask you. They just threw you that bomb. You are sick. No, I'm not sick. So that is when you reject that energy. You have no power over me. There is a word, but there is saying the words, but there is also your attitude when you say, no, I don't want this. I don't accept it. But when you don't accept, the thing exists and it's still, around. But when you say, you have no power whatsoever over me, then that thing disappears for you and everybody else. What else? You have no power over me. Yeah, so for example, oh, you have to do this in your mind. Sometimes you hear that from others, but in your mind, you say, oh, I have to lose weight, for example. Okay, it's a pressure. Relax. You have no power over me. If I want to lose weight, okay, I will. But don't push yourself. Met someone and then you say no, but everyone is not serious at the moment, or with a legal issue. Sometimes happen. People have legal issues again, and they cannot sleep because of the issue is in their head, and they go. You have no power over me. When people get ill for any reason, they tend to focus on the illness instead of health, because they start researching on internet about what could cause that, what is the possible diagnosis, what is the possible prognosis, when they are going to die. Most of the time they have it. So they come with all that information in their head and say, oh, you know what, I have this. And I have 2 months to live, almost. People do that. So, okay, well, focus on health. How do you want to be? Do you want to be healthy or crap? Healthy. Okay, so we are not going to think of the illness, we are going to think of health. By saying, you have no power over me. Do you have a financial issue at the moment? Okay. Money is already, money already exists. So that is a concept of limitation that is in your mind. Well, say, you have no power over me. Remember what Saint Germain says about precipitation. And for any other issue, what you are going to say, you have no power over me. I'm not, some people say that they think they are not smart enough. You have no power over me. They think they are not beauty enough. You have no power over me. So, we learned a lot today, and it just a couple of words that Sanderman taught us today about the power of our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. Control your emotions, control your feelings by this attitude. You have no power over me. And next time, we are going to talk about the law of cause and effect. How does impact in our life? There are some things that you must say, okay, but this is it's impossible that I created this by my thought. Okay, because there are 7 laws. Well, one of them is mentalism. The second one is law of cause and effect. And we are going to see that next time, how Germain explains that to Guy Ballard. And his methods of teaching really are really effective because he's not telling Guy Ballard, he is showing in the experience. It's amazing. It's like a I don't know, Marvel movie, something like that. It's amazing how he explains. Anyway, so thank you very much, and I see you next time. Bye for now.